Hey, what's up, YouTube? Fox here, and welcome to a discussion video about the OCG ban list. Now, like I said, this is the OCG, so this is Japan, China, Korea. This ban list is for them over there, not us over here in the TCG. And what I'm mainly going to be talking about is what could we possibly see? What similarities could we possibly see between the OCG ban list and the TCG ban list, since we no longer share the same ban list anymore? All right, so let's see. Just gonna go ahead and scroll down here. So first off, we do have the my nose is itchy. Sorry about that. The we have all four dragon rulers are banned along with El Shaddai construct. Was El Shaddai construct was I don't really think El banning construct was I mean, in the previous ban list they put construct and Winda to one, and now they're just outright banning construct, which I don't really think is called for. It's not that powerful of a card. I mean, it's all it is a Shadal Cataster, which, just like all the other Shadal fusions, when it's sent to the graveyard, you get to recycle a Shadal spell or trap card back to the hand. So I don't think banning construct was like a smart move. I mean, there was no need to ban construct. And then banning the big dragons, that really, for the OCG, that really made at least one build of number 95 pretty much unplayable, just downright unplayable. I mean, there is still the heretic build, which I have seen some few deck lists for it, and I might go ahead with that build because remember when they banned, for the TCG, when they banned Morphing Jar and Morphing Jar number 2, it was in order to prevent the Jackpot 7 OTK from ever happening. So it was a pre-ban, or whatever you want to call it. So with number 95 coming out, and with number 95 being a extremely powerful card, we might see the Dragon Rulers banned for us as well. I mean, I know we'll have 95 before then. I think we'll have 95. Yeah, we'll have 95 on the 20th, I believe. That is when the release date is. So, I mean, we would have like a week and a half of 95 shenanigans. So banning the Dragon Rulers isn't totally out of the question. I see it as a possibility of happening, just to help further prevent 95 shenanigans. Now, as far as the limited cards, we have Dark Magician of Chaos with an errata, which, I mean, it still does the same thing. You just can't abuse it. Basically, it still banishes all monsters it destroys. It still gets banished when it gets destroyed itself. What they changed was is that its number one effect, the first effect when it's special summoned, you can grab a spell card from your graveyard to your hand. You can no longer abuse that effect because you can only activate it once per turn, and you get the spell card at your end phase, not when he's summoned. So since we won't be seeing Dark Magician of Chaos on our ban list because there is no reprint scheduled for it with an errata. So we probably won't see Dark Magician of Chaos for maybe one or two more ban lists probably. And then we have Curry Bandit, Mathematician, Necros of Bryanak, El Shaddai Fusion, Necroz's Cycle, Sacrifice, and Vanity's Emptiness. Uh, Now for us, we probably won't see the Bryanak hit because Necros are just way too new. Um, I don't really. I mean, Vanity's Emptiness is a good card. It is probably one of the most popular floodgate cards, I believe is the term. Um, I don't really think putting it to one was such a smart move because it made a lot of those tier 2 and tier 3 decks. They really took a hit with that because for those tier 2 and tier 3 decks, Vandy's Emptiness is like their strongest weapon against the meta to stopping Necros from swarming the field, from Shadalls swarming the field, from Cliffarts from swarming the field, etc., etc. So I don't think we'll see the Vanity's Emptiness hit. We probably Necros Cycle again. Necros are new. I don't believe we'll be seeing that hit. Then, as far as the Sacrifice, El Shadal Fusion, Mathematician, and Curry Bandit, um, I think El Shadal Fusion and Sacrifice both have the possibility of getting hit to one, maybe to two for Sacrifice. Um, but I think El Shadal Fusion has a good chance of going to one. And then the Mathematician and Curry Bandit. Um, I'm not really sure about those. I mean, I know they're indirect Shadal hits, so I don't really because I mean a lot of other decks use Mathematician and well more decks use Mathematician more than they do Curry Bandit. So I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't they're both good cards, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they deserve to be at one. I don't think they deserve it to be at one. So I don't think they'd get hit to one for us. I don't know, maybe to two, but again, I really don't see Curry Bandit or Mathematician getting hit. Um, at least not yet. Maybe next ban list because I mean, again, I think it's Shadal's, Plants, Light Sworns. Those are the off the top of my head. Those are the top three that use Mathematician. Curry Bandit. I don't know. But yeah. Enough of that. Next for the newly semi-limited. That means that these cards are at two. Manju the 10,000 Hands, Cliffart Scout, Wind Up Carrier, and Formula Synchron. Now, obviously, we have Formula Synchron at 3. I don't see it going back to 2 or 1 or anything. Wind Up Carrier, we might see that card come back to 1 for us because of the new Wind Up support that we got a set or two ago. And plus, like I mentioned before, Wind Ups aren't really doing anything. And I don't really think they will for quite a while. Um, Cliff Art Scout, maybe. Well, that is a card that we may see hit to two. As much as I would love to see it hit to one, because I'm not a big fan of Cliff Arts. I think hitting it to two would be the smarter choice because um, it slows the deck down, but it doesn't completely wreck it. The deck's still very much playable, but just it's a bit slower. And you only have to deal with two scouts instead of three. And then Monju, the 10,000 Hands, we may see him get hit to two or one. He is, in my opinion, the better of the two Thousand Hands, the other one being Senju, because Senju only searches out a ritual monster, I believe it is, whereas Manju searches out a ritual monster or a ritual spell card. So I see Manju more than Senju getting hit to two, maybe even one. Um, but I'm not too entirely sure on that. I think two would be the more likely if Manju would get hit. And then lastly, we have the cards that are back to three for them, and that is Arc Lord Christia, which we already have, Inzektor Hornet, which we might see Inzektor Hornet come back to two. I don't think because he's at one for us right now. I don't think we'd see him come straight back to three. So maybe we'd see Hornet at two because Inzektors aren't really doing much. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Rooster. We Rooster is already at three for us. It was never hit on the ban list. Instead, it was Spirit who was hit on the ban list to one, and I don't know. I mean, maybe they could bring it back to two, but I think it'll probably just stay at one for a couple more ban lists. And then the Burner, Lightning, Stream, and Reactant, all the baby dragons were brought back to three because with the big guys banned, I mean, you could run the baby dragons, but you're not going to do anything with them because you can't use their effects um, because their effects are all discard one dragon or monster of the same attribute, and then you special summon the bigger bigger batter version from the deck or hand. Burner for blaster, lightning for tempest, stream for tidal, reactant for redox. And then next we have Senju of the Thousand Hands. That got brought back to three for them. I don't think that card will get hit for us. I don't because again I think Manju is the better of the two. So I think that'll stay at three for us. Sinister Servant back to three. Remember, it did get an errata, a pretty heavy one too. So I mean, seeing it back to three isn't mind blowing at all. I mean, it's not that good of a card anymore. Um, and then El Shaddai Winda is back at three for them. Like I said, last ban list I believe it was Winda and Construct was put to one. I think Windows should have stayed at one. I don't think they should have brought it back to three. I think it should have stayed at one. Maybe they could have brought it back to two, but I would like to see Winda hit to one for us because it is a pretty annoying card and in a way it's like a Vanity's Emptiness against a lot of decks. And then next we have Legendary Six Samurai Shien back at three, which I hope never happens over here in the TCG because I despise Six Samurais. I hope Shien stays at one for us. I really hope it does not come back to two in this next ban list. And then number 11 Big Eye, it's never been hit for us. I don't see it ever getting hit for us. Monster Gate is back at three. We have it at one. It is a pretty good card. It helps out Infernoids, and I've seen a couple Heretic Dark Matter Dragon decks run either Monster Gate or Reasoning. So it is a good card. Um, I I don't. I mean, they could bring Monster Gate to two for us to help make Infernoids better, but um, again, I don't know. Uh, like I said, Heretic Dark Matter decks do run, or at least I've seen them run, either Monster Gate or Reasoning. Reasoning, which is at two for us. And then you have Temple of the Kings and Exchange of Spirits, which again they both got an errata, just like Sinister Serpent. Exchange of Spirit will probably never see play because both you and your opponent have to have at least it's either 10 or 15 cards in your graveyard in order to activate it. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that it'll never see play, but I mean, it's just in terms of competitiveness, I don't think it'll see any competitive play anymore. And then Temple of the Kings, I'm pretty surprised to see them put that at three. I mean, I know it did get an errata, but I mean, it still is a pretty good card. Basically, it's a continuous spell card, and once per turn, you can activate one trap card right from your hand, just like if it was a spell card. And then its second effect is if you have a mystical beast of circuit, I believe its name is, face up on the field, you can send this card and that card to the graveyard, and you get to special summon any monster from your hand, deck, graveyard, or one fusion monster from your extra deck, which really isn't relevant. I mean, it could be relevant for some decks, but mainly you're using it to activate that trap card right off the bat. So, like Jar of Avarice. Um, but yeah, that's it. I mean, like I said, Sinister Serpent, Temple of the Kings, Exchange of Spirit, those will all, without a doubt, come back to one for us because we will be getting their eroded effects in Premium Gold 2, which will release, like I said, I do believe it's the 20th, March 20th. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about what similarities uh, our list might have compared to the OCG list. What you think may get hit, and you know whatnot. So yeah, thank you guys for